So I learned something new yesterday, and it sh- could have helped me a lot for my first few projects, but that's just how it is in self learning. So I learned that within a scene, so I have this Open Toonz open, and the file is front underscore jump. And when I go to animation, I'd be able to switch the drawings within an animation, retaining the animation keys, but switching the uh, the the drawing. So if I go on the column where I want to change it, I would go level settings, and then on the path, I would open a different drawing. Let's say I want the character to face the other way. So I would be looking at her back. I would switch it to back underscore body, and then there you go. But then it still retains the animation. So where would I use this? I find this very helpful because right now I'm doing a 2.5D character. So I like it to be able to look as if it's facing the other way when I move forward, and then face the camera when I move backward from the player, and then be able to go right, go left, go 45 degrees. So forward right, forward left, back right, back left. So that means I would need to make 8 poses. And within each pose, I would need an idle animation, a jump animation, an attack animation, a walk animation, and an attack animation. So that would be how many? 5 animations in total, and I would have to do that per direction, per pose. So now I'd be able to use the same animation, or maybe tweak it a bit, and then but use the same keyframes, since most of the character is proportionate anyway on the left and on the right. Okay, so let me show you the example. I would create a new scene wherein it's jumping but it's facing the other way. So I would typically save the scene as, I don't want to touch that, and I would call it back underscore jump. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right. 5. So back underscore jump. Now I have this. There's I like the cleanup view or room. I like the cleaner room. It's called room in Open Toonz. Okay, so I'd go ahead and start switching the drawing for each of this column. I would switch the front body to the back body, or B underscore body. I would take out the face because there's no face when it's turning around. I would switch the hairline or the hair outline to, this would be back hair. Oops. What just happened? Back B hair. There we go. And then hair BG is a color. So taking its time because of the number of lines. The head I would although it looks the same, it just flips it because it's a hand-drawn head, so it's disproportionate. So I'd like to keep the same silhouette, or at least mirror the silhouette. So from here I would do All right, let's do the leg lower. Okay, leg lower. So this one is F leg lower, left lower. I would go with B leg lower. B leg lower. There you go. So now instead of it looking like it's in the front, I would change it up so it looks like it's in the back. You're looking from the back. Leg R lower. All right. The shorts, okay, maybe we can change it. It does look the same, but I did some minor changes so it appears different. Leg upper, so this is L upper. B leg upper. Okay, I lied. I think it looks the same. B leg R upper. Okay, it does look the same. And maybe I can modify that. Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna put on my by the way, I'm using a Huion Canvas Pro 16 to do the drawings. So I'll just do some quick lines in here. Let's see, just so it, you know, oops. Why are my, let's see. That's so much. Let's see what they got. Maybe some line. I just want to oops. There we go. That should be enough. Oops. I did my I forgot to switch columns. There we go. And then all right, so we've switched the body, we've switched the legs, both sides, and both upper and lower leg. Now I would want to switch the arms. Okay. Drawing, animation. So I was thinking of moving the arms from the right to the left and left to the right, but for ease of use, I can just switch the stage schematic. So right now, when the hand looks like it's being held on the left side, but since the character turned around, you would want it to be mirrored. I would switch the, let me see, I would switch the stage schematic. By the way, this stage schematic, if you don't know, is how you create a skeleton. So for each of your column in here, you can create a skeleton, or at least the relationship of the bones. And that's what I'm changing right here. I'm saying that the sword column, which is column 5, should connect to column 6, which is right now our right. So column 6 is our, see, our right. So I would switch it from our left hand to our right hand, and that would make my life easier. So now I would just keep the same animation but disconnect the sword. But if I do that, the sword is all wonky, and that's because the pivot point of the sword is still on the left. See how the bone extends from right to left? And that's because of the pivot point of the position center. Sorry, it's called center, but it's a pivot point of the sword. So now I would have to switch my artwork to mirror the sword. And that means I can go, where's that? I can go again, level settings, and then instead of F sword, I would do it B sword. And there you go. So now that it's connected to the right arm, right hand, and not the left, let's see how the animation goes. Oops. Why is it doing that? Let's see. Where is my sword's pivot? Let's see where the pivot is for this sword. Center sword. Okay, I have to move the center of the sword. Let's see how it works. There you go. Alright, I still haven't moved the pivot for the sword. Let's see. Okay, let's put the sword. That's fine. That should be fine. I just don't like it how the arm seems to break out of the sleeve on this part. Let's make an adjustment. Alright, so, but going back, oh, I forgot to change that. Let's see how we change this. And because now you're looking at the hand from the back. So that would be F arm L. I should switch that to F arm lower. Good. It's thinner. I need to switch my naming convention. And then this one, because the arm that's holding the sword is slightly thicker. Alright, arm. Right now it is using arm R. I would have to switch it to arm L lower. There you go. And it doesn't have the line because you're looking from behind. Let's see. Oh, that's why it's moving around. Now I realize how big the other arm is. That's fine. It's part of the artwork. Okay. See how that works. Okay, this hand, the arm is still penetrating the sleeve. Let's get that fixed. How do we do this? Let's start with the arm. So you go to the bone, and then let's do animate. In animate view, by the way, skeleton, tool, animate, you can move the drawings around. But if you wanted to stick with what do you call that? Stick with the bone inverse kinematics, then you go in there, IK, and then you can move connecting bones, just like that. But this time I'd like to do animate because I'd like to be able to move and control it individually. There you go. And then we go, oops. All right, let's try that. Okay, that's fine. This one though, I would go with this one. And then I would go again. Maybe we can keep it like that. Let me copy this keyframe and then paste it here. Let's see what we got. There you go. I think it works for my purpose. The hair is moving away too far from the scalp, so it's trying to create that illusion that the head is tilting forward a bit when the character is jumping, but I think the hair's moving too far away, so I'd like to change that. Let's see where that's happening. Let's go to function editor. I really like how it's organized this way, and I know it's made for Studio Ghibli, so it's very well made for an open source software. Let's take everything out. For an open source software accessible to anybody who wants to learn it, I think it's a really good one. Okay. Where is it? That frame. Okay, this frame and this frame. Or we can always stretch it. Maybe we can stretch it this way. Okay, so I'd like to be able to change individual well, per column changes. So I could look at this. I'd like to change the column 12. By the way, column 13 in our stage schematic is linked to column 12. So whenever I do changes on column 12, the column 13 takes that change as well. So if I do a resize or a rescale, let's do scale V for the hair, and that would be frame 6. I did 90. Scale 90. I should go 95. Let's see. That's not bad. Then you'd see that column 13 also, if you look at it, column 13 also resize. And that's because of the stage schematic. See, that's so for example, if I do 100 on column 12, column 13 would go, oh sorry, 10, that was 10, would change size as well. All right, let's go 95 in there. Where else are we having a problem? 95. Okay, I think we got that. Let's see. There you go. It's less obvious. But you also want to have that, you know, when someone jumps and the hair bounces, that's what you're trying to mimic. Okay, I think I'm happy with what I have. Let's do that again. Animate. And there you go. That it's as easy as switching files, and you still retain the animation animation keys. So now I would export this into the game. Let's do that right now. Render. So this canvas size is 190 by 190. You can see that in there. I'd like to resize that before I put it in, before I import it into the Unreal Engine 5 game to save some file size. So you go to your project. If you could see this right now, I set my Open Toonz projects to be in my desktop, so it's easier to access. The default would be in your C drive if you're using Windows. So you go FHL underscore hope, and this is our project file. I would go to outputs, and then right there is my outputs, and then I would resize that. I have an image resizer in Windows, and I could put on, I forgot what it's called and where to download them, but they're free and they're very handy for this type of work. I changed them to 240 by 240 pixels. I'll put it on the description below, so if in case you need to use it, the Resizer app for Windows. And then, oh, I don't have a folder yet. I would create a folder. Back, jump. There you go. Let's go to our project. This is our project. We don't have a folder for back jump yet, so that would be hope underscore back jump. And I like to, oops, hope front. Oh, okay. I forgot I did that. Hope back. Let me organize this for a bit. Move here. There you go. So now I'm in hope back, and then we are on hope back idle. Oh, no, hope back jump. I'd like to do images in here so it's easier to find files. Import everything. Let's do sprite action, apply paper 2D texture settings, which gives it transparency. Well, it is transparent. It's a PNG file, so now it just recognizes that and optimizes the images for sprite creation. So I need to create sprites out of that. And from there, because all the sprites are selected, I can create a flip book. Paper flip book, character hope, and position back, oops, jump. Let me take that out, move here. So I really like it when it's not among the images, not among the sprites. It's easier to find. All right, let me implement that on our character. Let's see where we are. Okay, so here's my flip book thingy, where whenever the character receives input from the C++ file, so I expose this to Blueprint. So I'd like to be able to play it within the Blueprint first and decide later if I'd like to hard code that or not. So I expose the inputs. This one is a forward direction, and the axis would give it either +1, 0, or -1 if it's forward, and right +1, 0, or -1, -1 if going right, going left. From there, the poses are checked, triggered, and then I have the blocking. If it's not blocking and we're not blocking, we're in the idle moving. Oh no, it's a different state. So here is my state manager. So from my state manager component, I also expose this to blueprint. And whenever a state is changed, I would do a check and then do specific changes for the sprite component, which is a flipbook component of the character. So I would go change that, change in state, and that the animation that we just did, the jump, is in air state. So whenever the state changes to air, which is in this case jump, it's off the ground, then it would switch flipbooks. And right now we are changing forward with the back animation. Forward is forward for the player character. So I'm changing this. That will be hope jump. Front jump, front jump. So right now everything's in front jump except for the forward, which is back jump. Let me show you what I mean. So right now when the character jumps, and even though I'm moving to the right, it's using the front animation because I haven't done the right facing animation and the left facing animation yet. But if I look forward, now I can jump. There you go. That's the animation that we just did, and you can also jump up front. And that's the animation that we just did. Idle or walk and jump. Alright, I'm starting to complete. Still have a lot of things to do, but I'm learning along the way, so that's really good. Yeah, attack. So right now I don't have front facing attack yet, so it's still using the back facing, or at least the camera facing. There you go. But I can now walk and jump and stay idle. Alright, that's it, and I hope you guys like my video. It's helping me a lot to learn from the software Open Toonz. It's very helpful for an open source. It's really a great app. So let me know your comments or suggestions below, and that's it. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.